Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of my CARproductionkuno videos. Well, for this episode, nakikita nyo naman po sa inyong harapan, we will be talking about the different kinds of face masks that are now readily available in the market. Kaugnay pa rin po yan ng ating COVID-19 pandemic. Well, if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing, and if you want, you can click that notification bell so that you'll get updated on my latest videos. Also, I have my Facebook page with the same name, CARproductionkuno. Paki-follow and paki-subscribe naman po. Before we start, let me just remind you guys that wearing your face masks alone is not a guarantee that you will not get infected by the virus. We still have other factors actually that you need to consider if you want a full protection from this COVID-19 virus. Well, as the authorities are always telling, number one, proper social distancing is an important part of this endeavor, especially when you're in public places. Good social distancing helps in minimizing the spread of the virus, and of course, the most important thing is our proper hand hygiene. Well, proper hand hygiene plays an integral part, especially if you really want to protect yourself from different kinds of diseases. Well, for now, yung ating COVID-19. So again, three factors. The most important thing, proper hand hygiene. Second is proper social distancing. And the third one is the proper way of wearing your face masks. Basically, face masks or our respirators are subdivided into two groups: the loose-fitting masks and the tight-fitting masks. Now let's talk about the loose-fitting masks. In an ideal setup, loose-fitting masks offer one-way protection. So what do we mean by the principle of one-way protection? It only means that the wearer, for example po ako, I have the mask. I just want to protect the environment from my secretions, not that I want to protect myself from the environment. This is the main reason why the authorities are encouraging everybody to wear masks in public. With this principle, if everybody is wearing masks, everybody will be protected. But it doesn't mean that loose-fitting masks are not effective in preventing you from getting infected. As a matter of fact, authorities stated that these loose-fitting masks may offer some protection from the virus. Even though not as high as those tight-fitting masks, at least you are still being protected. So now let's move on to some kinds of loose-fitting masks. Well, first, let's talk about the most commonly used one, which is the cloth face masks. Although they are less effective than those medical-graded masks available in the market, authorities are still recommending the general public to use this kind of face masks if other face masks are not available. Advantages of these face masks: number one, it is much cheaper than the other kinds of face masks. And number two, it is reusable. One thing also that you need to know that the effectiveness of these cloth face masks may vary depending on what material that is being used. Let me just give you some samples of the materials that are being used and their percentage filtering capacity for airborne particles. So again, these cloth face masks may not be as effective as those medically graded face masks available in the market, but still it can offer a good percentage of protection from harmful elements. Well, by the way, if you're going to make your homemade face masks, make sure only that you are making more than one layer of fabric for your face masks. 2 layers is acceptable, but authorities are recommending 3 layers of fabric for your cloth face masks. So now let's move on to the other type of loose-fitting masks, which is the medical or the surgical face masks. This is also one of the commonly used masks nowadays, and this is way better than your cloth face masks. Why? It is basically because of the structure and the materials used in making this mask. If we're going to cut this medical or surgical face mask, we will notice that this kind of face mask has 3 layers on it. the colored or the outer part, which is the hydrophobic layer, the inner part which touches our face, and lastly, the middle part which has the filtering capacity of the mask. Well, loose-fitting masks, as the name implies, it does not offer full fitness in our nose and our mouth. You can notice, for example, we are going to wear our masks. There are still portions, there are still spaces that are open. So now let's move on to the tight-fitting masks. As the name implies, tight-fitting masks, it offers a good fit to our T-zone, to our mouth and our nose, that it can protect ourselves from the environment. Here in the tight-fitting mask, it offers two-way protection. Two-way principle only means that both the wearer and the environment are being protected. The most commonly used tight-fitting mask is our N95. If you will notice, if you're gonna wear this N95, this will offer a good seal or good fit on our face, meaning no open spaces when we are wearing this one. The only downside for this N95 is it is disposable. It is made for one use only. After using, you have to discard it, you have to dispose it. Well, there are other varieties of this N95. The most common type is the KN95. These two are somewhat similar to each other. It is just that these two are approved by the certifying bodies in different countries. They differ only basically on how the masks are being certified. For example, the N95, which is based from the US standards, the KN95, which is based from the Chinese standards, and the FFP2, which is based on the European Union standards. Basically, they have a similar filtering capacity. From the name itself, N95 and KN95, they can offer at least 95% of protection from those harmful elements from our environment. If N95 and KN95 are disposable tight-fitting masks, there is another kind of tight-fitting mask that you can use for many times. These are the half-face or full-face elastomeric respirators. You can buy this everywhere in some physical stores, but mostly people are ordering it online. For my case, I have my half-face elastomeric respirator, which I can reuse. I just need to do some proper cleansing, proper disinfection, and proper container to store it. This kind of face mask has its detachable filter. Other type of elastomeric respirator is the full face mask, which I don't have. While for the advanced kinds of respirators, we have the PAPRs or the powered air purifying respirators. These are expensive types of respirators. Well, that's it for this episode. I hope that you learned something from this episode. Thank you very much for watching. Again, if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe. Click that notification bell so that you'll get updated on my latest videos. Until next time, only here on my CARproductionkuno videos. Bye!